You know, when I was growing up and in high school and in college, this was in the late 70s and early 80s, besides some jazz guys that I'd heard recordings of, I had never heard a flugelhorn at all until that song was a big hit by Chuck Mangione. "Feels So Good" was the name of the song, and from that moment on, I, like many trumpet players in America that weren't aware of flugelhorns, all decided we had to have one of these. Obviously there's a lot of great applications for it in jazz, and there's a lot of great applications for it in brass bands. But I wasn't aware of the whole European brass band thing, and if there were any around, I certainly wasn't aware of them at that time in life. So the flugelhorn was the thing to get, and I've had a number of flugelhorns over the years. This one is one actually that I enjoy the most out of any of them that I've ever played to this point in my life. This is made in Brazil by a company called Weril. That's W-E-R-I-L. This is a model 9072, which has a gold brass bell. And they make a 9071, which has a yellow brass bell. And they also make a 9073, which is silver. But this particular horn is a really great flugelhorn. It's a bore of 433, so it's kind of middle of the road. You'll see some flugels that are less than that, 0.413. You'll see others that are closer to a trumpet bore. This one, again, kind of in the middle of the pack. Really great plain horn, super open, free sounding. It's lively, it's fun to play. A little more compact than some of the flugelhorns on the market. And I just really like this horn a lot, so I'm going to take just a few moments to play it so you can hear it. There's not a lot of these that you'll find in the United States. A couple places online had these for a while. I haven't seen one in a while, so you may only be able to pick one up from either somebody importing it or a used one. But bang for the buck, this flugel far outplays a lot of the other things that are typically available on the market today here in the United States. So right now it's time to check out the Weril Flugelhorn. have it. This is the Weril Flugelhorn, again a model 9072, made in Brazil. The things I like about this horn, to me, playability wise, it's very, very similar to my Couesnon 140, which is a horn that I picked up brand new in the 70s. The Couesnon had a great sound. It had horrible fit and finish and construction, and it didn't have a third valve trigger. So on that horn, without the trigger, I was always leaving the third slide out, you know, between 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch, so that when I was playing a low D or a low C sharp, it was going to play those more in tune somewhat. I lip a little bit, but that would be, you know, helpful with that slide out. But this way, obviously, I've got the ability to use this trigger, which is great for those notes, helps me sound a lot better that way, which is awesome. And the other thing is that the valves and the fit and the finish on this Weril horn are, you know, skyscraper high above what was on that Couesnon. Now I know the old Queenies or the Couesnons are kind of the holy grail of flugels because of the sound, but the ones that I played didn't have great quality control apparently at the factory. So on mine, across here, these valves were actually uneven in how they were lined up. Also, if you looked at them this way, unlike an old recording which is made to have the second valve, you know, offset a little bit because of the length of your fingers, brilliant idea. Mine was just out of line because it wasn't lined up well. The valves also made a ton of noise on that horn. And, you know, overall it was a great playing horn that I could have added a trigger to, but I still would have had really unaligned valve, you know, valves on the horn, and super noisy, so it wasn't as enjoyable to play simply because you heard all this racket going on while you were trying to play the horn. The Weril, again, feels to me very much like that horn. So if you like the old Couesnons and you've gone out and played some of the modern stuff but you're not that thrilled with it, for whatever reason, doesn't feel like your old horn, this to me, and I'm sure there's others out there that are great horns, but this to me is just a really super horn because it feels like that Couesnon that I loved so much, but now it has, you know, better construction, better valves, quiet valves, valves aligned, just a really sweet little horn. So that's it. I just wanted to share that with you. Appreciate you watching, and continuing to check out these different videos from Blaine's Brass Hurricane.